not the ideal way to start the new season, but you're probably quite relieved, all told, that the injuries aren't as bad as they first seemed.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't expect to be where I was after the first corner, but yeah, these things happen, and it just shows that I've put in a lot of work to build myself up over the winter, because I should have ended up with a lot more serious injuries than I actually sustained. So yeah, there's positives to come out of this as well as a few negatives.
Yeah, obviously not ideal to be sidelined so early on. Talk us through then, what injuries have you actually got?
I've got 3 broken ribs, 2 cracked ribs, a punctured lung, and yeah, bleeding on the lung as well. So
There'll be people listening to this thinking, well, that sounds pretty serious, but by Speedway standards and given the accident that you actually had, it really could have been a lot worse.
yeah, it could have been. I've never broken my ribs before, but yeah, it's definitely hurting. And the hospital sent me home with no painkillers, so I've been struggling this morning a little bit. But yeah, I've seen my specialist and things, and I'm booked in for next week to get some treatment. And yeah, all should be looking good towards the end of next week.
In terms of your recovery process then, is it just a case of resting and then heading along to the doctors, getting a bit done and seeing where that takes you?
Exactly that, yeah. I obviously I'll try and speed things along as much as I can, but the natural healing process has got to take place as well. And I bought my own machines and stuff over the years, which I'm using right now as we speak. And yeah, all this should head me to being a little bit more fit towards as soon as time as possible, really.
So what are your machines doing right now? What's happening to you this very moment?
It circulates the blood around the damaged area, and more blood that goes through it encourages like regrowth, and also the ribs. It sort of like cements the bones that have already been broken, because after your bones are broken, they go into like a gel, and then this machine it sort of like sets the gel, and also puts new blood back in there and stops bruising and like disperses bruising that's already there. And yeah, so it's a pretty good machine, to be honest.
So while all of that is going on, I guess the biggest challenge for you, is it all a bit dull for someone who's used to a good rush of adrenaline, and doing speedway, just sitting around must be the worst bit?
Yeah, especially so close into the season as well. I've been geared up for a really big year, and to have this at the first stage is pretty heartbreaking. But it's allowed me time to sit back and get more things in motion. And yeah, it's with every negative you can always find some positives. So that's what I'm doing.
Is it too early to have any kind of timescale on a potential recovery?
The hospital says 6 to 8 weeks for an injury like this, but I'm more on the 2 to 3 weeks sort of line.
Now, it's fair to say, overall in your speedway career, you haven't had the best luck with injuries.
No.
We've talked about how this one could have been worse. You've had some really serious ones in the past, so I guess relative to all of that, this is a walk in the park.
Yeah, it's a hard walk, but yeah, a walk nonetheless. And yeah, I'm just over all the injuries, but at least with the ones I've had, it's making me a bit more aware and a little bit more knowledgeable as to what to deal with and how to combat it all. And yeah, I'm just really happy that I've had a good winter of training and things, because it should have been a lot worse, the injuries that I sustained. But yeah, I've got myself built up. I'm physically fit, and yeah, I suppose you have to have a little bit of injuries after having such a big crash. So yeah, I'm knocked about, but not down and out.